Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Play Legit podcast, the premier podcast for gaming and real talk. We are your hosts, Koerri, Elijah, and my good friend.
Guess what I'm buying today? It's Friday.
What you buying, KJ?
Ghost of Tsushima. Finally, the exclusive we've been waiting on. The no BS storyline, goofy stuff going on. I'm talking about that real. It's finally on the streets.
KJ is like a AAA title I actually give a crap about. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, man.
So I'm feeling good.
It's going to be a good weekend. It's definitely going to be a good weekend. But before we get into everything that we're going to be talking about, because we got a bunch to talk about today, we're going to go ahead and just make sure you guys check out playlegit.net because that's the home, that's the hub. That's where you're going to find everything when it comes to gaming and real talk. You don't want to miss out. That's where you're going to find the podcast. You're going to find reviews. You're going to find 8-bit trolls, just funny content for you to read over, all different types of stuff on the site. So please, please, please don't sleep on playlegit.net. As well as the YouTube channel. Subscribe. We need you to hit that bell so you know whenever we have new episodes dropping, as well as other content that goes up on the YouTube channel. Let's Play Legit Network on YouTube. Subscribers have been growing. Keep on subscribing to the channel if you're new. And if you're new to the podcast and you're not subscribed to us on iTunes or Spotify, please do that as well. The podcast is anywhere you can find podcasts. It's super dope. This is episode 21 of who knows how many more of these we're going to be doing, tons of them. So you're not going to want to miss out. You want to be able to get those notifications so you know when the new heat drop in. So hit up all those different locations. And you could follow me too if you want to hit me up on social media. Hit me up, say hey at Koerri.
Yeah, he works hard.
Yeah, I try not to spread myself too thin, but a lot has been going on. Like the podcast today, as you guys know, this week and I believe next week we're going to be doing doing Friday uploads. But even today, like my schedule got like overrun because something I thought was going to take like an hour and a half took like 4 hours. Just went down to the Common Council. There actually was a county board supervisor meeting that we were having. I talked about a bill that I helped them kind of put together in a way. It was a resolution, I should say, for body cams here where I live. So we were talking about that, and it took a lot of time. A lot of technical jargon was brought up, and I was looking around the room like people don't know any of this tech terminology except for probably me, which was hilarious and kind of shows like, I don't know, holes in government. In a way, just they need to catch up with the times. Just like these next gen consoles are so amazing. There's tech that involves like every other aspect of our lives in the world as well that has advanced to a point where a lot of the people that are making the decisions for here, I'll say it this way, right? Your parents don't know the difference between a PS2 and a PS5 game, right? So your parents are like, here's this PS2 game. Why don't you just play it in your PS5? You know what I'm saying? Or here's this PS5 game. Why don't you play it in your PS2? What do I need to buy you a new console for? So that's kind of
something Gremlin would want to do.
Exactly. And some of these people, we're not saying they are Gremlin and are trolls, but some of them just don't have the information or just don't know how some of this stuff works. So it was kind of interesting seeing that aspect of it. But enough about that, man. I want to get into something a little bit better, something not that I care more about, but it's something a little bit more lighthearted, something that's easy to digest, and that's gaming, man. That's gaming. So let's get on into it, bro.
Right.
First topic for the day, bro. UFC 4. I know you saw the trailer. I mean,
yes.
Whew. What are your thoughts? I'm kind of digging. I kind of fell off from the UFC games. EA, our relationship's not the best, but this is looking kind of good in my opinion.
Don't you say that, because now it's all good. You got your little Skate 4, so I'm sure you're happy now. And speaking of 4, we got UFC 4. they showed the gameplay reveal during the UFC's Fight Island pay-per-view event, which is cool that is even going on. I know that that's a lot of work for that to even be a thing. So shout out to Dana White and everybody giving us entertainment in that form. But yeah, so I was watching the gameplay video, and the graphics look very similar to the last game. I didn't really see a big leap, but what I did see was an attention to modes and features. And that's what I think is going to be really special about UFC 4. I know that they're always trying their best to improve the ground game, which is something that they've always received heavy criticism for. You'll read comments a lot of times and people just refer back to UFC 3 Undisputed that was made, of course, by THQ. So if they could get that ground game fixed up, because I know a lot of people complain about it, that would be great. I think the stand-up game is for the most part pretty well done, because it's the people that made Fight Night. So the stand-up's pretty good. And the clinch, when you're in the clinch, I know that a lot of people aren't as critical of that aspect of the game. But there's always room to improve. So I'm hoping that they improve all facets of the combat in this. And what I noticed was 2 stages. One is like a Kumite stage that reminded me of something you'd see in Van Damme's Kickboxer or a Bloodsport or something like that. And that's pretty cool that they're trying different stages. But it looks like there's only 2 right now. So hopefully you can unlock more. Maybe they'll have some more as DLC. But the fact that they're trying different ones is cool, but I did want to see more. But I do like that they have the backyard fighting, the backyard octagon cage, which is cool. And then I did see very briefly Kimbo Slice. So it looks like they're going to have the late, great Kimbo Slice in there. And so, yeah, it's just, again, like, yes, it's cool to have the professional, traditional UFC gameplay, but the fact that they're branching off and offering all these other things is just going to add new legs to the gameplay.
Yeah, it definitely looks really good, and that's one thing I kind of noticed too, like the different modes it looks like they're gonna have, as well as like the story, especially with like the backyard octagon type thing, and then like the street fight thing with like Kimbo Slice. It almost feels like the story mode. It might like lead maybe, and this is just me making an assumption. I have no idea. We won't know until the game's actually out, but it almost seems like the game, like maybe career mode wise, you start off as like maybe a street fighter, you work your way up into the ranks of actually being like a real fighter and getting into the UFC, which it gives you more to kind of do. I know a lot of people really did enjoy the career mode of the UFC titles, so them getting more in depth with that will be dope. But yeah, them also kind of highlighting, because you kind of seen like them highlight somewhat kind of like the different fighting styles. It almost seems like they are trying to highlight like, hey, we have put a lot in when it comes down to the engine, when it comes to fighting. So hopefully the ground game is a lot better, because that was always something that I was kind of like, man, this it just doesn't really make sense to me. I almost feel like I just have to be lucky when it comes down to the ground game. So if that's updated, if that's changed, it looks like they're adding a lot to this, different modes, like you said. I'm intrigued by it. One thing that I am surprised by is kind of the release date. Now we're looking at this. What, this comes out August, so we're looking at next month for this. You're muted.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, that's pretty crazy. It's like, oh, we just announced this game, and very soon you can have it.
It's like next month you got. Well, I don't. Maybe it's one of those things that. Well, I imagine it's been in the works for a while. Um, Maybe they're trying to like maybe get some kinks out before they relaunch this on the PS5, because clearly this is going to be a PS5 relaunch title. It has to be, especially with looking at the graphics and things like that. It almost seems like, yeah, they didn't do much to the skin for this, because it's probably going to update and upgrade a lot better. Maybe not, who knows. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. for me, the UFC games are more of like rental. More of I put it in like the rental realm for me. Even though like renting isn't like a huge thing, but I would put that maybe in that realm. But I don't think it's a bad game. It's definitely something that I would play. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I'm with it.
You know, people always saying, where's that fight night? And because y'all doing UFC, doesn't have to stop y'all from making a fight night. Y'all can do both, you know, because we keep seeing how many UFC videos that EA's made, and EA yourselves look at your own video and you look down, you say, you see the comments, we want fight night. We want fight night. There's a reason, because Fight Night Champion was fire. So we want a new one. It makes sense. Fight Night Champion is one of the best sports games, period.
Mm. Maybe we'll see that on the next gen consoles. Hopefully that's why we got this. Not saying this is a rushed project, but maybe this is why we're getting this now, and maybe we'll see a fight night down the line. But I do know UFC, I mean, is more popular than boxing probably. So I mean, who knows? But fight night was fire, and I would love another fight night. So if you're bringing back skate, if you're looking at the comments, if you're listening to the community, I imagine they're working on a fight night as well. But man, yeah. So next month we'll have UFC 4. We'll be able to let you know what we think about it. But yeah, so it looks good. Glad that we got that teaser from that trailer, and we'll get more in depth with that in the future. So let's switch.
I did see Bruce Lee in there real quick.
Oh, you saw? Oh, well, I mean, as long as they don't make him pussified like they did in that Quentin Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then we should be good, right? You better put some respect.
Yeah, he's been in the past UFC games that EA has done. He's been really good in it, so I imagine that they will keep that going.
They need to throw a Ip Man in there too. Might as well. He fought Mike Tyson, so throw him in there.
Hey, why not?
Hey, that Wing Chun is something special. So let's switch gears, bro. Let's get into this is quick news for you guys. So last episode we were talking about our indie spotlight Carry-On, and we didn't have a release date for you, but we have an official release date. It's coming out this month soon. Actually, it's coming out in the next few days, actually within the week. Next week, if I'm not mistaken, July 23rd, 2020, we're looking at Xbox One, PC, and Switch. Carry-On will be released. So KJ, I imagine you're waiting to pick that up. You're going to be on Ghost of Tsushima and Carry-On.
I feel like I can do both. That's the mission.
Hey, and I'm sure the mission will be complete. I'm sure you won't fail like you may fail tonight's Mission 3 hot seat. But we'll get into that later.
It's going to be all perfect, 100% on all this.
So the way I have it designed, that will be up for maybe the audience's decision. But let's move on to this week's Play Legit's indie game spotlight, and that is Panzer Paladin. And this is another, KJ, you know how to find them indie games, buddy. Because as soon as I saw this, I was like, this is giving me like Mega Man feels, except it's like Mega Man maybe / like Shovel Knight / like something dope, because you can upgrade, you can hop out of your Panzer, out of your little mecha. Yeah. You got like a little guy with like a whip and stuff. This game is looking dope. What's your thoughts? First off, like, what did you think when you initially found this game? And like, what are your thoughts overall on this title?
Well, I mean, I saw the box art look really cool. You see the girl and like standing behind the big robot suit. I was like, man, that just looks awesome. So I said, let me check this out. Let's see what's going on. The name is really cool too. Got a cool name, nice presentation. The thumbnails for it look really cool. So it's little things like that grabs people in. And so they got me. So I jumped in there and I was watching it. I was like, man, this is reminding me of Mega Man. This is reminding me of Shovel Knight, Ninja Gaiden, and things like that. And I also, what pulled me in too is the music. And I was really enjoying the soundtrack. The soundtrack sounded really nice. So I look forward to experiencing that as I play through the levels. And I do like too that you can, it surprised me that you can customize. You can go to the blacksmith and like weld your own weapons. So you can like go in there and design it, make a blade, or if you want to make a hammer or whatever you want to do, you can go in there and mess with it. In a game that has an 8-bit style, that was just really cool to see going on.
Yeah, it definitely was something that stuck out to me as well. And like just the sprites and everything, the environments they're textured really well. It looks really good for an 8-bit style game coming out in 2020. Just how everything was just how it flowed, the gameplay, looking at even just how everything blended with like the frame rates and stuff. Like the game looks really good for it to be the style that it is. And then for them to have the customization, and not just the customization, but there's a wide variety of different weapons and things that you can obtain and stuff. They have like hockey sticks and axes, a whole bunch of different stuff that you can get on top of the customization. So to me, it looked like it was definitely going to be a very, very fun game. And then being able to hop in and out of the suits as well, it allows you to kind of strategize in a way where like maybe you'll never leave your suit, maybe you don't ever use your suit at all, or maybe you're in and out of the suit regularly. It gives you that option to kind of play the game in a bunch of different ways as well. So that's another thing that kind of stood out to me. It was like, oh man, this is a banger. They came with some heat with this one.
The boss fights look really fun, and then I saw like when you beat the game, they have like a remix mode, and then you can play the game again, and then the bosses, their patterns will be different. They're going to rework the boss fights and things like that. So you're going to have that replay value. And a game like this, I imagine it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And so I'm just I'm looking forward to it. Like you said about the art style, I was looking at that Egypt level. And just the backgrounds, the way that the backgrounds look and everything. And again, the boss fights, they're going to be really fun. They're going to deliver. I'm ready for it.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely pumped. This is a good one. You guys definitely should check it out. Panzer Paladin. It's going to be on the Switch. And we're looking
PC.
at Switch and PC. Yep. And as for release dates, it's saying sometime in Q3. So sometime, I imagine soon, we'll be looking at a release date for this. So keep it locked to playlegit.net. Keep it locked to the Play Legit podcast, because like we gave you an update on our last spotlight on Carrion, we will definitely give you a update on Panzer Paladin as soon as we get more information in as well. We really like to support the indie games here. We want to know, we want to let you guys know what dope indie games are out, so you can always know that if you keep it locked to playlegit.net, that you'll get the exclusives and all the info on the indie titles that we think are dope that are coming out as well. So,
and indie game developers, if your title is fire, you got confidence in your game, and like, hey, I got something, I'm cooking with fire right now. Reach out to us, man, because we're willing to give you the platform so that people can recognize what y'all are working on, man. So we would like to collab again. Like, we love the indie community. This is the future of gaming. Y'all got the ideas, the concepts, and it's all heart. That's what I like about this industry here.
Yes, sir. It's like buying art from a street vendor or going inside of a coffee shop and buying art. You know what I'm saying? You might see some good stuff. It's going to be fancy when you go inside the coffee shop, but you're going to find those gems from them street vendors. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they're any less talented than the people that have their art inside the coffee shop or inside of the freaking Louvre or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just that sometimes you don't have that giant spotlight. So we're here to help shine a spotlight. So if you have a game that you're confident in, that you don't mind an unbiased review from on, reach out to us. We're always down to collab. We're always down to help out. We're always down to play games. So even if you don't want anything but just to know what we think about your game, reach out to us. You know what I'm saying? And we'll definitely do that for you guys. We have no issue with that. So let's keep it moving, man. From indie to majors, let's move into Xbox Gaming Showcase. What we want to see and what we don't want to see. So let's start positive, maybe. I'll let you start positive. Because I mean, let's be real. We all know how I feel about Xbox. So
yeah. Your view is skewed, if we're being honest here. Now, check this out. So, Halo Infinite, they know they dropped the ball on Halo 5. That's no secret. They know that they did. So, it looks like they're kind of going back to the drawing board a little bit and just putting the focus around who it should always be around, and that's Master Chief. Now, what I saw, the first videos that we've seen of it was pretty cool, but I think now what I would like to see is a full-on lengthy gameplay video of what we can expect from Halo Infinite, because it's supposed to still come out holiday season. So I want to see, the real deal, like what's going on Halo Infinite, what kind of modes are going to be available, and just that whole kind of thing. I think the world's kind of waiting on that. Those who have Xbox and stuff. So I don't know about Koerri, and then I want to see, I want to see some more original games from these people, because they really what they do a lot with Xbox is they put the spotlight on multi-platform games all the time, which is not necessarily a problem. But if you're somebody who, loves exclusives, it is a problem. So I want to see more exclusives from Microsoft. What studios did you guys acquire? We know you got Ninja Theory. That's a pretty big acquisition right there. Did you guys get anybody else? Or are you guys trying new concepts? Basically, we've been seeing so many third-party outings this summer that I would really want to see a lot of first. And they said that the focus is going to be on the first. And I want to see that, because that's been a weakness of the last generation for Microsoft. I think Xbox One was pretty good. I enjoyed my time with it. But, if we're talking about presentations and stuff, I would definitely say that was the weakest aspect of Microsoft. The last generation was not really a regard for their exclusives. So,
yeah, I mean, what do they have? I mean, we're getting Battletoads. I mean, we're getting Battletoads, man.
We're getting Battletoads, but we're not getting it the way anybody wanted it.
I mean, you're not getting an Xbox One S, bro? Or an Xbox Series X? Well, I don't even know what this thing is called.
I was gonna say he's such a fanboy. He don't even know what the system's called. Ain't that a beat? But
One
anyway,
One S Series X is all. It all sounds the same to me.
So we know that it's but it's confirmed that it's definitely a more powerful system. But again, like if it's more powerful, it doesn't matter if you do not have the exclusives. It does not matter. So you guys need to definitely bring it.
That's why KJ is the best, because this man keeps it consistent. He keeps it consistent. He doesn't care about your specifications, fam. If you don't got the games, it doesn't matter. And that's why I feel good about riding hard for Sony, bro, because at least I know we're going to have the game. So I can talk all the crazy stuff that I want to, because I know at the end of the day, there's going to be exclusives.
So another thing I want to point out, sorry, buddy, I got something I want to throw here real quick.
Go ahead.
5 years ago, they showed us the HoloLens. They showed us an amazing augmented reality display with Minecraft, and they were really hinting at that. HoloLens technology is like, I think it starts at $3,000. So they found out that it's just too expensive to mass distribute and get people to invest in and all that. But hey, maybe you shouldn't have dedicated so much time at your conference to showing that when there was so many unknowns. I feel like, so in a way, I feel like the audience was kind of lied to because people were expecting to be able to use that kind of thing. And then when I go back further, I think about they tried to do all this stuff with Connect that they were saying it was going to do. Like Tony Hawk, he had a skateboard and Connect scanned the skateboard into the game. And no, that didn't happen. And then also with that kid Milo, how that kid Milo, we were supposed to interact with him. What I'm saying is I've been seeing a lot of, those are things I'm pulling that Microsoft basically is throwing in your face, but not executing. So what I want to see from these people is, if you're going to tell us you're going to have games, like, you know, I don't want another Scalebound. Scalebound looked pretty awesome, and it's not happening. So I'm just sick of being lied to. If, please reveal games that are going to happen. And if you're going to introduce a new peripheral, make it affordable, or don't waste my time. You understand?
Why do you guys even waste your? You just mentioned so much. Like everything you mentioned was like all of the stuff that would get someone to buy an Xbox, and none of it happened. Why do you even trust these people? HoloLens was so dope. First off, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro. You can like, they knew they weren't going to be able, but you could like now, for example, like Apple right now, like over the past year and a half, 2 years, they've started their push, maybe 3 years, they started their push for AR, like augmented reality. That requires you to have to use a phone or a tablet to do that. What kind of peripheral? And like this iPad is expensive. A phone is an iPhone is expensive. The technology, especially if you're gonna do it good with like a LiDAR sensor and stuff in there, like it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be super expensive. So, and what did the peripheral? Was it a headset that they were using? I
Yeah,
forget
they put
exactly.
it on. Yeah, it was a headset. He put it on, and mind you, it looked awesome. It looked so much fun. How they had the game playing out on the table. They were walking around the table. People were playing Minecraft, but you were on the outside looking in pretty much because you could see people playing the Minecraft game on the table. The complete Minecraft game. That is awesome. No doubt about it. But they did not deliver on it.
Augmented reality. They don't have the 5 years ago, like what they were using to run that was probably, I don't even know why they would have shown that 5 years ago. Now that I think about it, now like having the information that I have now about augmented reality, and even like there's no, dude. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing that for a while, if ever. Will we ever see that? At least not at a reasonable price. Because like I said, you could use like a phone or an iPad, but a full like head device, like, nah, dude, that's not happening anytime soon. Dang, Microsoft. It seemed cool, and like I remember watching it like, dang, that's so awesome. And now I think back at it, like, and I look at like some of like the basic augmented reality stuff that you can do. It's just like, yeah, that's cool, I guess, but it's like, yeah, no one's really gonna buy that like that. No one's buying an iPad for augmented reality. I just want to play Minecraft, bro. I'm not gonna spend $7,000, $3,000. Yeah, dang. All right, well, yeah. I mean, what we don't want to see is more of that. We don't want to see more peripherals that won't come to fruition for 15 years from Microsoft. What we don't want to see is third-party titles being flaunted as if they're exclusives, because they're not.
We've been seeing third party all summer. I'm good on it. I know what's coming out third party. We good.
Right.
Let's see what y'all got.
What do you really have? What are you doing with Master Chief? What are what's going on? And I know this is all speculation and rumors. What's going on with WB Games? You got something? What you got coming? What you got for me? Are you gonna have that Superman title that people were looking for? Are you gonna come back with another Batman exclusive? And we've talked about this briefly. If you were ever gonna get me to buy an Xbox, it would be because you had some form of an exclusive DC superhero game. That's the only way you're gonna get me to buy an Xbox. So with the stuff with WB Games, or is this really going to be happening? Are you going to be having the exclusives when it comes to the DC heroes? Are you going to make a Flash game to secure my however much money an Xbox Series X will cost? Because that would do it for me. But yeah, other than that, it's like
they need to take exclusives more serious, because the third-party games you can get on PlayStation. So if I have a PlayStation, why would I want to get an Xbox? So
exactly.
Show me next week why. Yeah.
Give us that reason why someone that has told people he will never purchase an Xbox. Make me want to purchase an Xbox.
Switch is underpowered. People buy it. Why? It has exclusives that are awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and they don't even drop prices. And people are still buying the underpowered Switch. So,
So it's a bigger deal than they thought it was last generation. They need to take it serious, or they're going to continue to be behind Sony. And that's just what it is. I'm not a fanboy on it. It's just common sense. You need to have exclusives. More than just Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix. Y'all need to do a lot more.
We appreciate Marcus Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate Master Chief, even me. But yeah, it's just not enough. So we'll learn more. What do you guys want to see from the Xbox Gaming Showcase? We want to hear from you guys. So comment down below. What is it that you want to see, or what you don't want to see? Are you tired of seeing peripherals that never come to fruition? Are you tired of seeing third-party titles being flaunted as if they're first-party or exclusive titles? Let us know what you guys want to see or what you don't want to see in the comments down below. Let's have that discussion. Hit us up. We'll be talking about it for at least until the next episode. So with that said, we're going to go ahead. We're just going to take a slight break just so we can get a word from our sponsors. We got to refuel really quick, but we will be right back with the Mission 3 Hot Seat. KJ, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back after this. All right, we are back, and we are ready with the Mission 3 Hot Seat. KJ, this week it is your turn. 3 rapid-fire questions. You have to answer them to the best of your ability. I came up with these today. I'm not going to say they're softball. They're not really softball. They're either going to make you think, or they are going to expose you. So, if you're ready, man, we can get into not expose you too bad, man. Not too bad.
I was gonna say, Pimp, what you doing? I'm the CEO, man. You gonna ruin this? Like, go ahead, man.
He set me up. But yeah, man, I think this is gonna be a good one. So if you're ready, we can get into the Mission 3 Hot Seat.
Oh yeah.
All right. So question number 1. Better game and why? I don't want no BS answer either, KJ. 2 classics. Super Mario Bros. 3 or Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a better game. It has a wider variety of levels. The music is better. I don't want to do the graphics because those are two different system generations, so I don't want to compare graphics. But I think the fact that had 2 players simultaneous, I mean, that was pretty awesome. So it's just doing more things than Mario 3.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Number 2. So this is kind of like the F, Marry, Kill type scenario. So we have play, download, delete. Okay. So you have to play one game, download one game to play maybe later, or just leave it on your hard drive, and then delete one game from existence forever. Okay.
Forever. I can't
Forever.
re-download it later on?
Nope.
All
Nope.
right.
Forever. Okay. So your choices are for play, download, delete. The Last of Us Part 2. No Man's Sky. And WWE 2K20. Play, download, delete.
I would play No Man's Sky. I would download the WWE 2K20, and I would delete The Last of Us 2.
Oh, wow. All right. And reasonings behind this decision?
The reason behind that decision, because Last of Us 2 should not exist because the first one put a bow on the story.
And
WWE 2K, I download it, and when I download it, it would be on a massive deal. I wouldn't download it at full price.
And then No Man's Sky, why'd you decide to play that?
I would play that, man, because I've heard that they have made like massive changes to the game. So I would, if I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it now, like how it is now. They've added so much to the game. That's pretty much an entirely different game now.
What is it, 4 years, 3 years, 3 or 4 years after its release?
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't say which version, so I'm wrong with it.
And then, all right. And then the last question here. Best gaming soundtrack of all time.
Oh, my God. Oh, buddy. I really like Sonic Mania, man.
Oh, wow.
I have to think offhand. Like, Sonic Mania is just an awesome soundtrack, man. It's real good stuff.
Out of any game soundtrack to ever, you're going Sonic Mania. Just clarify.
Lock it in.
Lock it in, Sonic Mania. All right. Well, hey, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that was not that bad, man. You did good. You kind of threw me a little bit with your play, download, delete, because I honestly don't know if there's anything that can get me to play No Man's Sky again, even watching gameplay of the updates. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So that was the Mission 3 hot seat. Hey, guys, if you like this segment, if there's rapid fire questions that you want to see either me or KJ have to handle, let us know. Throw them down in the comments below. Tag them, hashtag Mission 3 hot seat. We'll go through them all. And hey, maybe you'll see one of your questions end up as one of our rapid fire hot seat questions one of these weeks coming up. Whoa. So, hey, man, hats off to you. You did good, man. I know I kind of probably scared you a little bit with my setup, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. So final topic.
That soundtrack one was tough, bro.
That's why I thought about it at the end. I was like, man, what's something that might make them think? But you had it on deck. You had it on deck. I knew you liked the Sonic Mania soundtrack, but I didn't know you would pull that one out. I thought it might have been a deeper cut, but the soundtrack is pretty good, so I'm not going to hate. So let's get into the final topic of the day. Ubisoft. Is their mission accomplished? Did they do what they set out to do? Also, Giancarlo Esposito, Far Cry 6. I'll say that's looking pretty sick. That's looking pretty sick in my opinion. But did they set out what they set to do? What's your opinion?
Well, they said that this was the first forward, that they're planning another one later on. But as far as this forward goes, honestly, I thought it was a lot better than they've done in the past. Like, I think this is probably one of their better conferences or presentations, whatever. And the reason is because they were showing gameplay on a lot of stuff. I'll admit, when they started off with Watchdogs Legion trailer and it was cinematic, in my head I was like, okay, here we go again, Ubisoft, another cinematic, no gameplay. But no, they got that cinematic out of the way, and then they showed a long gameplay video of Watchdogs Legion, and I think that game can be really, really fun if they really take advantage of the diverse cast. So I saw that when you're doing missions, you can do all the missions with whoever. So that will add a lot of gameplay, a lot of replay value if you beat the whole game as like an old lady, if you want to. But then I also saw they had a guy that's definitely a John Wick knockoff, if you will. I mean, the way that he was taking out dudes and doing a couple judo throws and stuff like that, it definitely was they were going for that John Wick. Then I also saw a construction guy that's just kind of in your face aggressive as well. So, I mean, if you could just, hopefully they make it a mission replay system in that game that's just easy, so that you can be like, okay, this mission was so much fun. I want to play this again immediately, but now I want to do it with this person. So I hope that they have that type of thing implemented, because I like what they're trying here, honestly.
Yeah, it is a little different, and it's cool to see them kind of like expand outward with their IPs in a way, trying to take advantage of what they have that kind of is working in the future, and kind of like spreading it out. And like you said, like if they have an easy replayability with that, there's even with like game sharing and stuff like that, like not game sharing, but just sharing like your achievements or just clips or snippets from your gameplay and stuff like that, just beating your favorite mission as an old lady or a pig person or whatever it may be. It'll be just funny to just post on social media and stuff like that, stuff to kind of keep you engaged in the game and kind of like keep you in it even if you're out of the game, stuff like that. So it does seem like they kind of have a grasp of kind of the way gaming and how communities are building and stuff like that.
I really hope that this selling point of Watchdogs Legion is in depth, that this isn't just kind of like a novelty thing, that they really take the time when you're using these different characters to complete missions. And they said it's going to have a 4-player co-op. I hope that they put a lot of thought into that as well, because if they did, you're going to be able to get a lot of mileage out of this, because they recreated the streets of London, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were watching the video, there were people who lived there that saw it, and they were saying like, hey, like this looks just like a place I know. And it seems like they did a really good job building that world map. So I'm really hoping that they take advantage of this thing, that this is it is not a cop-out or something. I really hope that I really do want to play this. They got my attention with this one.
So other than Watchdogs, what other titles really that they showed? Are you into Valhalla at all, or is it Far Cry 6?
Well, we finally got gameplay video of Valhalla. Finally, we haven't before this, but now we have. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it looks awesome. It really looks fun. The combat, the combinations of weapons. They told you could have 2 shields and just fight with 2 shields. Mm-hmm. That's probably not going to be my style, but if you want to do that, hey man, go ahead.
Have at it. Yeah, and that one's coming out fairly soon too. Not too soon, but we're looking at November 17th this year. So I mean that'll be a good one. That's looking like another cross plat probably. Not cross plat,
smart delivery.
Cross gen. But yeah, that's looking like that's going to be dope too. What did you think about Hyperscape? Did you have any opinion on that at all? They have the open.
So
They have the beta open now.
Vex was saying from the site he writes the 8-bit Patrol with me, and he was saying that they pretty much just made a game out of Ready Player One.
Mm. Yeah, hey, yeah, that's actually kind of a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, everybody has to, everybody's trying to get on that, battle royal, free to play, wave. So, I mean, I'm not mad at them. It's a good way to kind of gain revenue. So hopefully, the game's good enough that it actually kind of drives people to play the game. And hopefully we'll be able to see some of the revenue that they make from that kind of go into other areas, so we can continue seeing like these massive titles. Far Cry 6, I think that was probably the biggest thing that happened, that really got everybody talking, not just from the cast, but just the fact that it's like, okay, we're getting a Far Cry for this next generation as well, and Stadia. um what did you think about that? Like, my biggest thing is like Giancarlo Esposito is like one of my favorite actors. Just to see him in there as the main villain, like, and he brings it every single time. That the story for this game is, I mean, I don't see him doing this without the story being absolutely fire. So I think this is going to be a banger.
I think that this was a great way to close this out, was to show us again. I would have liked to have seen some sort of gameplay, and I was about to let them have it on it, but I will say I did see screenshots from the actual gameplay, and the screenshots they didn't look fake. They honestly looked like, okay, this is what it's going to look like when we play. And it looked good, man. So I saw screenshots of the next generation version of it too. So it looked pretty good. This story is going to be so unique. I don't know if you'll play as that kid at any point that he's grooming to be the leader. I don't know if you're going to play as him, but whatever they're going to take it, wherever they're going to go with that story, it's going to be something I think that has never been done before in terms of gaming, right? I can't think of anything like this.
Right.
So that's really what's blown me away.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for this. This is out of anything that Ubisoft is kind of doing and has kind of showed off, that was really the thing that I was like, man, all right, well, I'm looking forward to that Far Cry 6. If anything, Watchdogs Legion looks good. Definitely looks like it's going to be a fun game. Definitely one to pick up. Valhalla, if you're into that whole Assassin's Creed, style and gameplay, that's definitely a fun one too. But that Far Cry 6, just imagining what the story is going to be like, and what the experience is going to be like, and then seeing it on next gen. I think that's going to be the one. Far Cry usually is. So, I mean, we'll see.
I thought that they milked it beyond belief, but they seem to keep finding really cool concepts for Far Cry. So, hey, I was wrong, and I'm glad I was, because it's looking really dope. And it's going to be available on current gen also. So those of you who are like, oh, I got to spend $1,000 or whatever it is on the next system. No, you can get it on the. I don't know if the systems are going to be $1,000. I just would like to say that because the games are going to be 70. So anyway, I don't want to get into my rant from the last podcast. You can listen to that over.
Yeah, and then any thoughts on Ghost Recon Breakpoint? I know that's available now. On that. All right. Well, yeah. just figure we bring that up, just to give them a fair shot. But
it wasn't Splinter Cell.
The look on your face says it all, man. Look on your face says it all. So that wraps up our thoughts on Ubisoft here. Far Cry 6, like I said, is really, really what I want to see. What did you guys think about the showcase from from Ubisoft, and what do you want to see from them going forward as well? Also, that gameplay. When are we going to be able to see that? Let us know when you want to see that Far Cry gameplay. I know you want to say right now, but just hit us up. Let us know your thoughts. Hopefully it will be sooner than later that we actually do get to see it. But, man, that wraps it up for tonight's show, man. Crazy how we kind of flew through all of this, man. You survived the Mission 3 hot seat, bro. We recognize some dope indie games, man. And UFC 4 is coming out sooner than anybody ever expected it to. So, man, if you guys enjoyed the show, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Play Legit Network, as well as on iTunes and Spotify for the audio version of the podcast. You know, also check out playlegit.net, because that's the home, that's the hub, that's where you're going to find everything related to Real Talk and gaming, you know. So make sure you do that. Also, hit me up if you want to at Koerri Elijah online. Hit KJ up at Play Legit. Whatever questions, comments, you know, whatever questions, comments, concerns you guys got, let us know, man. We're here for you guys. We appreciate everybody tuning in to episode 21 of the Play Legit podcast. Episode 22.
Real Talk.
We'll be back next week with more Real Talk and gaming news for you guys. But until then, we have been your hosts, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.